All right, let's talk about the Phils real quick. I know we're all Kelly greened up, but we did have the Phillies who actually lost their series this past weekend. This was a little bit of a surprising one, simply because the Pirates are a little bit better this year. At one point, I think weren't they first in the Central? At some point, they're obviously not now first place in the Central, but they were at one point at that spot. And for the Phillies, every series, every series, there is no easy series. Is what I'm trying to say here, and we all know this. I really feel like this past weekend, this series loss can be attributed to the Phillies themselves. And I know everyone wants to talk about Rob Thompson, and I do want to talk about Rob Thompson myself, right? But overall, I think that this Phillies team, the problem with them this past weekend was them themselves, believe it or not. Because it was too many mental mistakes, especially the last two games that were completely winnable. And I mean, obviously, Friday night was pretty close. You did happen to win by one run, and thanks to Kyle Schwarber for that one. But like Saturday, it was what it was. You allowed them to come back after you yourselves were able to get a solid fourth inning in there. But then on yesterday was the most disappointing one because obviously, yes, why the fuck was Christopher Sanchez taken out with the no through 5? The defensive mishaps, Trey Turner, what the fuck we doing? Brandon Marsh, what the fuck are we doing here? And so those type of mistakes, it's just so frustrating. But this is like a collective thing. Like the main thing I've seen over the past 24 hours is all of these fingers that are just solely being pointed at Rob Thompson. And although Rob Thompson does deserve some flack, he definitely deserves some criticism. How many times do we talk about allowing games to be dictated by analytics? How that just drives me up a wall. When managers rely solely on analytics, to me, it's like nails on a chalkboard. When I saw that happening, dude, I wanted to throw my phone at the fucking floor. Like, honestly, it's still early, and I'm not panicking at all. I know we are panicking, but I'm not panicking at all. That's the tough part about baseball is that there is so many games, and we are in summer, and we are, and we're 7 games above 500. But my God, there's just things that will drive me crazy, man. It will drive me crazy, and that absolutely will drive me crazy. Guys, I just want to put this out there. I feel like we don't need to talk about this, but unfortunately, we do need to talk about this. You're not firing Rob Thompson. I know everyone wants it to happen. I know everyone's frustrated Rob Thompson, but we are not firing Rob Thompson. There are decisions even this year that Rob Thompson makes that work in his favor. And look, most decisions in baseball are risks, are gambles. Whether it be analytically driven or whether it be a feel of an actual human being, it's all risks that you are taking at the end of the day. Obviously, you're not getting enough power from Bryce Harper. Obviously, Nick Castellanos is struggling a little bit as well. And yeah, Rob Thompson, it's time to start thinking outside the box. Doing the same thing over and over again, as we constantly keep talking about, is not going to get us anywhere. And so you got to change something up. You got to try something new. You hear this fan base, and I just don't see how it can hurt to try out Stott and try out Bohm at the top of the line. These guys are getting on base on a ridiculous path. Let's try it out. You have guys struggling. You don't have to bench them all the time. Maybe Trey Turner definitely was deserving of a bench, but also rotating a lineup around, shuffling it around doesn't hurt either. The next 24 hours are going to be big because tomorrow is deadline time. Right now, the rumors for the Phillies are leaning towards an outfielder. Like Tommy Pham is heavily linked to the Phils. Lane Thomas, Adam Duvall, all linked to the Phils. And it does feel the Phillies would be more inclined to picking up an outfielder than a pitcher. Obviously, Jordan Montgomery's out there. Eduardo Rodriguez are out there as well. But I just think that this team is going to go for that outfielder. And I think that in general, I think out of both of these needs, a power righty would be more beneficial to this baseball team. If you just trust Christopher Sanchez, man. There's the thing, like, we're trying to figure out what we have at the fifth starter, and you won't allow Christopher Sanchez to finish the inning because they're going back to the top of the order. You don't want him to go through a lineup again for the third time in a game again. Come on. We lost the game regardless. I would have much rather seen here's the thing. Like, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but if Christopher Sanchez stays in there for the rest of the game and he struggles after that, can we live with that? Can we all live with that? Because I certainly could have. If Christopher Sanchez, who's having a no-no up to that point, stays in the game and he struggles after that, I could live with that. I can't live with Sanchez getting taken out the game. And it just kind of does feel like a little bit of a nonchalantness from this baseball team. What do you hear constantly? Playoff talk in fucking July. Like, let's get to the playoffs before you start feeling comfortable. Like, this team seems a little too comfortable for liking. Why I don't like comfortability is because when you are fighting for a wild card spot, you shouldn't go out there feeling comfortable. Losses happen. And even though we freak out and we overreact, losses happen. But when you're going to be fucking conservative and you're going to think that, oh, we'll be fine come playoff time, that's where we get upset, man. You can't just rely on the fact that what happened before is going to happen again. This in this sport, in this league, no, it's just not going to happen, man. It's just not going to happen. It is frustrating, man. It is absolutely frustrating. So we'll see. You guys let me know what you guys want to see. What really needs to happen tomorrow on the deadline time. Let me see, man. I don't know. I honestly didn't even know you can make polls, to be honest with you, man. The Lining Lancaster was